Good morning, everyone. On today's show, we will recap my win-loss record in Street Fighter 6 thus far, as well as review my status with each character that I've used and tell you about some of my favorites. Also, let's talk about Diablo 4, which I started last night, and you will have some input into what I'm going to be playing later on this week as we kind of talk about the schedule and a lot of React content coming up. All this and more right after the break, or the bump, or this. All right. How's everyone today? It is indeed the final consecutive streaming day of the week for me. It is Tuesday, the 6th of June, 2023. Of course, I'm DSP, and I welcome you here to the show. And what a week it's been, right? What a week. Covering Street Fighter 6 nearly all week. And basically, really diving deep into the game for the first time in a long time. With a fighting game, I usually don't play it as much. And usually, a lot of people are not as invested as they have been for this game. But as you know, me growing up as a very huge fan of Street Fighter, becoming a competitive fighting game player for about 10 years of my life. Of course, those days are behind me, but now being able to cover brand new fighting games is awesome. I really love the fact that people were interested in my takes on the game this week, even though I'm certainly not great at the game. I can tell you after playing it for, 5-6 days, I'm kind of average, if that. As you're going to see today, we're going to go through my win-loss record. We're going to talk about the characters I've used. And you're going to see that, it's hard to jump back into a competitive fighting game after being away for so long, especially when it has so many new mechanics that I wasn't aware of. Shout out to the people, particularly Game Tracker, who this week have been giving me tips and clues about all the new things and the changes to the franchise. And me trying to learn them on the fly has been pretty daunting, but at the same time, fun. I don't think I've had this much fun with the launch of a new fighting game in a long time. So, by the way, I should say, huge shout out to Capcom. This is arguably the best fighting game launch I've ever experienced. All the other fighting game launches I've done since I've been a YouTuber, usually that first weekend, there's tons of lag, there's issues. There's been none of that. For the most part, it's been a very, very smooth launch of Street Fighter 6. Everyone's been having a great time with this game, no matter what format you play it on. And I feel like they nailed it this time. And that's only with me playing the standard characters and online play. Say hello to Jasper Kitty, everybody. There he is. I haven't even delved into any of the offline content like World Tour Mode, which I told you guys I eventually will check out. There's so much to do in the base game that, I haven't even dabbled in it yet. So that's a good thing, though. If there's so much going on in the game that's so good, right? It's obviously a good thing that there's all these other modes and things that are saved up for a future date. Now, on top of all that going on, last night we had the premiere of Diablo 4, which released for standard purchasers. People who had paid extra money to play it early have been playing it since like Thursday or Friday. For me, knowing that I was going to be busy with Street Fighter 6 all weekend, I didn't do that. And I played it last night for a couple of hours and had a great time with it. It seemed like the audience loved it. I was having a great chill time with it, much as I expected. I definitely expected this game wasn't going to be super heavy on plot, but instead kind of heavy on exploration and combat, which it is so far. And you guys have already been helping me with your build, with my build, with my sorcerer class that I selected. So we'll talk a little bit about that on the show today. Now, we also have some interesting things to talk about, and here's why. This week coming up, we have a unique amount of React content because this is essentially the week when all the big game events are happening. You've got Summer Game Fest on Thursday. You got the Microsoft Xbox / Starfield event this coming Sunday. There's also Capcom, Ubisoft, and other individual conferences that are happening. Those I'm not going to be covering in depth. It's going to be definitely the Game Fest and the Xbox Starfield event that I'm most interested in. I will be covering those live. So, being that that is the case, okay, that's going to take away from gameplay this week. So, knowing that, I've actually adjusted the week, and I will have an extended streaming week next week. 7 straight days of streams. That's right. I start on Thursday, and I stream all the way through Wednesday. It's actually Thursday of next week will be my day off. So Wednesday of this week is my day off tomorrow, but then Thursday of the next week, so 7 straight days. Hopefully, that extra day will help make up for the fact that there's 4 streams I'm not doing gameplay this coming week. That's right, 4 streams. So, there you go. Now, also, we need to determine what I'm going to be playing on Thursday night, because that's the gameplay stream that I'm doing after the Summer Game Fest React during the daytime, and we have many options. I could do more Diablo 4, I could do another night session of Street Fighter 6 and try a new character, or we could do some more Zelda for the first time in a week. So I'm going to leave that open to you, and what we're going to do is we talk about the schedule in a moment. I'm going to do a poll. You guys are going to vote on this poll to determine what you want to see me do on Thursday night, okay? So very much so, it will be in your hands what I actually play Thursday night. I'm down for whatever, honestly. I think that anything would work well. So we'll see what your thoughts are on that, okay? So we've got a lot to talk about today. We do. Now, before I get to any of that, my apologies. My allergies are acting up, as you know. Increasingly over the course of this week, it's been a problem. This morning, I woke up with full post-nasal drip and my throat all messed up. And it sucks. Up to this point, I haven't had bad allergies. And usually I get allergies back in, like, April. So I don't know if it was a delayed release of certain pollen this year, and it took this long, and now the pollen's out there and it's bothering me. Like I said, the other day, we had a delivery that was coming to the house. It was actually some pet supplies, and it was supposed to be delivered to the door. It always is. This time around, Amazon, who we ordered from, gave it to USPS instead of just delivering it themselves with their own delivery service. And when USPS delivers stuff, they're the laziest people on the planet. They literally will do whatever they can to not come to your house. So we have mailboxes up at the front of our community here. And they took a box that literally doesn't fit and shoved it into the storage box there for deliveries to avoid having to come to the door. So I had to walk through the community, and when I walked outside, it hit me. My eyes swelled up, started watering and itching badly. My post-nasal drip went into effect, and ever since then, this was like 2-3 days ago, my throat has been all gunked up. I was perfectly fine until I had to walk outside through our community, and then it was like, oh my God, I went overload, right? Well, it's now warmer. It's actually going to be very warm today, tomorrow, and I think the next day. So we have the air conditioners pumping, meaning all the air is being filtered again. So hopefully that'll help. But in the meantime, it is what it is. It sucks. And like I said, I feel gunked up today. I do. And I hope that I don't sound terrible. I'm going to try to tough through it. It's good that I have a day off tomorrow to hopefully recover, especially with a 7-day streaming week coming up later in the week. Maybe I should just buy some more allergy meds this week, too, just in case I need to start popping them again. So, that being said, cool. Thanks for listening to my bitching about allergies, but I just wanted to let you know up front, all right, that this is the deal, and I'm not gonna sound great today, okay? Fair enough? Okay, so where do we start? Start from the beginning? I think let's talk a little bit about, should we do Street Fighter 6 first, then Diablo, then the schedule? Go in that order? Sure, let's do that. Okay, so here's the deal. Street Fighter 6. I really enjoyed it this week. I really have. By the way, I ran out of Street Fighter t-shirts to wear finally. If you haven't noticed, every day this week I was wearing a Street Fighter t-shirt, or yesterday I was wearing my general fighting game t-shirt with the input commands. I ran out, finally. I would have worn the Blanca shirt, but the Blanca shirt is actually part of my setup for this month. So It took all week. Now they're going to be in the wash, so I'm not going to be wearing Street Fighter shirts for a bit. Anyway, so Street Fighter 6 this week. I played with 7 characters. Let's think about this. 6 characters? 6 characters. Yes. Launch day I played with 2. The next day I played with 2. I played with 1 on Sunday and 1 on Monday. So 6 characters I've used so far, okay? Each one kind of different and unique, and playing in a completely different play style, honestly. And what's surprising about this is that I think my results with each character were not what people expected. All right, so let's actually, you ready to go through this? Because we're going to analyze this today. You ready for this? Look at this breakdown. You ready? There you go. Shout out to the person who made this for me. Someone has been counting overall round performance. So this is not matches, meaning an entire fight. This is rounds. Okay? So let's go through it. I started off with Blanca, the Beastie Boy from Brazil. Character who I played with since Street Fighter 2, and a character who's always an oddball style character. I really liked him in this game. 76 wins, 60 losses. So win-loss ratio, positive for Blanca. Okay? JP, new character, a zoner. Absolutely something completely different from what you would expect in Street Fighter, with his ranged style and unique mix-ups with projectiles. Some projectiles are a throw, while others can kind of mix you up and lock you down. I played with him on that launch night. I got 74 wins and 41 losses. That's pretty darn good, actually, if you think about it. Now, actually, he's the character that I think I played with the least, if you actually do, like, the math. Or maybe that was Lily. I think actually Lily was the character I played with the least, if you do the math. So, I won far more than I lost with him. And that is actually my best win-loss ratio of any character that I've used. Okay? Then, Honda. E-Honda, who I played next. Kind of an even split. E-Honda in this game is very interesting because he has a lot of safe moves with high priority, but they're kind of slow. And I think really the way he needs to be played is with setups where you can lock people down into block stun, like keep locking them down and hitting them and to get their drive bar depleted. He also has some pretty extended slap combos. Problem being, I didn't really know the slap combos. I kind of saw people start using them after I'd used them as I played more. And I was like, oh man, I learned more after the fact. I probably would have done better if I played with him now than before when I did. But even then I did all right. I broke about even with E-Honda, okay? Lily. Now here's a character who, when I started using her, I just didn't get her because she looks like T-Hawk. She has moves that are supposed to be similar to Thunderhawks, but she doesn't play anything like T-Hawk. She's a completely different character, having to get wind charges in order to really be effective. If you don't have a wind charge, most of her moves suck, okay? You have to be able to have a wind charge to really be effective with her. So right at the beginning, she has a disadvantage, right? But the funny part was, the more that I played with her, the more I was starting to get her. And by the end of the night, I had a big win streak of like 7-8 wins, and I ran out of time. So I actually was starting to do really well. At first, I lost a ton with her because I just didn't understand. But once I finally started playing more with her and understanding what I was doing, I started liking her more and more. And I started doing these tick throw setups into the 360 throw that does ridiculous counter hit damage. I was like, oh, I get it. And then I run out of time. So I ended up actually ending with more losses than wins. But the funny part about it was, if I kept playing, I probably would have continued to get wins because I kind of finally understood what I was doing, you see? So kind of annoying that I ran out of time the way that I did. Up next is DJ. Now, this is the shocker by far of the weekend, okay? DJ is a character that in Super Street Fighter 2 Turbo is one of my best characters. He's arguably the 3 characters that I use in tournament play, and one of my best. You got DJ, Vega, Balrog. The funny part is, he's the weakest one out of those 3. Like, Vega and Balrog are known top-tier characters in Super Turbo. DJ is not. Yet I have won entire tournaments with just DJ. Okay? So, knowing all that prerequisite knowledge of DJ, and taking that into Street Fighter 6, it hurt more than it helped. It really did. Because DJ in Street Fighter 6 plays nothing whatsoever like old DJ. Literally every single thing has been changed. None of his normals are the same. No combos are the same. Nothing. All the properties of all of his moves have been completely changed. So he feels like a new character. And that's okay. Except it resulted in me losing a ton because I kept doing things from Super Turbo with him, which was really stupid. I mean, that's on me. It's what it is. It's muscle memory. I'm like, oh, I'm playing DJ, so I have muscle memory of what to do, and it's not true. It's not what you would do in this game. It resulted in a ridiculous ton of losses, and on top of that, by the end of the night, what I realized is DJ is an incredibly execution requirement character, meaning you have to practice with this character a lot. You have to get all of his moves down pat. Just to give you an example, quarter circle forward plus kick, quarter circle back plus kick, charge down and up plus kick, and each strength of kick are each completely different moves. And they're also similar. You'll be in the middle of the match and go for one, and I was accidentally getting the other. And it's very frustrating when you're in the middle of the match and you know this is the round or this is going to be a big punish. Here it comes, and you whiff it or you can't get it. I couldn't tell you how many times I was doing like wall bounces with him. Here comes a giant like 40%, 50% damage punish combo with like, oh no. You know, it definitely requires big execution. And I don't have it right now. I'm so rusty at fighting games from not having played them for an extended period of time outside of retro games that I was playing once a week on Friday Night Fights, that I'm just not in the loop of this stuff. And it really, that was my most disappointing stream by far this week, the DJ stream. Because everyone went into it with high expectations, that being that this was a character that I was known for playing in previous games, that I was going to do well. And literally, it was a fail stream. Like, it was every single thing I was trying to do was a drop, a fail, embarrassing, cringeworthy, head-shaking disappointment. Okay? And I admit it. It's me. It's me dropping everything and having no character knowledge. All right? So, that's why I did so poorly with DJ overall. All right? Lastly, yesterday, I played with Dalsim. Now, this is a very similar situation to what happened with Lily over here. When I first started playing with Dalsim, I was clueless. I was trying to figure out, what do I do to work? What do I do to keep enemies away? What are his combos? What are his strategies? I would say about halfway through using Dalsim, I started trying different things. It's about canceling into fireballs, but also canceling into getting away. You can actually cancel into teleport and stuff in this game, which is good. Like, you want to stay away from your enemies. You want to be able to use his floating, his teleports to mix up. Throw fireball that's bouncing, teleport behind, try to mix up and get a combo. Level 2 super seems really good, which is this giant inferno fireball that can go random distances and then you can try to mix up your opponent. So, basically the way I see it, he's actually a high potential character that will take a lot of practice in order to get down, right? But I like the character. And again, very similar to Lily. The first half of the stream, I was getting my ass handed to me. Every match was a loss. And then all of a sudden, by the end of the stream, I had an 8-win streak. And I was doing really well. Then I was finally dethroned by a Guile who was actually playing really effectively and defensively. I was like, oh shit, Guile might be really good in this game to get to because his defense is ridiculous. His flash kick blew me away how insane his flash kick was in that round. But anyway, so I was doing really well and I was catching up with wins, and then I ran out of time again. I was like, oh no. So this is what's happened with certain characters, particularly with both Lily and with Dalsim. I'm just starting to get the character. I'm getting into a groove. I'm getting a bunch of wins, and then I run out of time. And then that's it. And if I kept playing with Lily and with Dalsim, I guarantee you I would have had more wins than losses with both characters. Really. So, it is what it is. This is my win-loss record. I'm not ashamed of it. Overall, I've broken about even. Even though you could argue, oh, he's positive. I mean, not really. Take a look at these wins and losses. It's pretty much even, okay? I'm not happy, but I'm also not sad. I'm just kind of like, okay, this is where I am. I'm right in the middle. I'm certainly not a terrible player, but I'm also not good. I'm basically learning and trying to get back into competitive fighters, which is a very daunting task for someone who's been out of them for a decade, okay? So, it's a good starting point, to say the least, I feel. What I want to say is thank you to everyone this week who supported my efforts to jump back into Street Fighter 6. I know for several days there it was the only game I was playing, and a lot of people obviously were like, oh, man, I like variety. Where's the variety? Why is Phil only playing Street Fighter? And I hear ya. Now we're back to variety, just so you know. But for a while, I felt like I really needed to immerse myself, or else I was never going to get down the stuff in the game. Like, for example, if I didn't play as much as I did, I probably wouldn't even understand the basic game mechanics yet. I'm just getting to the point where I'm understanding the basic game mechanics now, you see? So, I did have a great time. Thank you to people who supported with knowledge, like I'll just say off the top of my head, people like Big Papa Phil, Game Trekker, were coming into the streams and actually giving me concrete knowledge of things that I needed to know in the game, okay? So thank you very much for that. Thanks to anyone who supported the streams, obviously financially, because when you're playing fighting games constantly, it's a big gamble. And you don't know if people are going to show up, you don't know if people are going to support, or if they're like, meh, I like the variety, so I'm not going to come around. Attendance has been great on all the Street Fighter streams, and support has been good. So I have zero complaints. This has been an absolutely great week covering Street Fighter for you guys, okay? Now, here's the thing. Today's a little different, because as you can see, 6 straight streams of Street Fighter 6, I've picked a new character, tried them out, dabbled with them a bit, and tried to learn them. Today we're not doing that, because I feel like today we need to actually sit back a little bit and say, hey, who are the characters out of these initial characters that I tried that I liked the most? All right? And the answer is Blanca, Lily, and Dalsim. And you might be like, wait, what? Blanca we get. Blanca, you actually had a really good win-loss record, and he's a character from your past. Okay, we get it. And the thing is, since I played with Blanca, I've been watching a few videos and things online. I've seen some interesting things with Blanca that I didn't know. Ways to combo and cancel to his level 2 super and then continue on with that combo by doing repeated Blanca balls back and forth, because the super allows you to do instant Blanca balls with no charge. I've also seen a new strategy where I was doing anti-airs with Blanca into a Blanca ball, but instead of doing that, you can do the standing heavy kick anti-air, dash forward, do the OD version of his backflip ball. The whole thing combos, and then after that, if you have a super, you can cancel to level 3 super, which is like ridiculous. One hit of an anti-air could be like 60% damage to the enemy. And I was like, that's not even hard to execute. That's going to probably be pretty easy. So there's some things I want to try with him today, okay? Now, in addition, with Lily, like I said, I was just starting to get Lily. I was starting to get wins. I had a win streak, and I ran out of time. So obviously, I'd like to reapply myself with Lily and see, now that I'll have a little bit extra time, can I do better? And the same thing with Dalsim. By the end of the Dalsim stream yesterday, I was getting the character. I was starting to really like him, and I was getting wins, and then I ran out of time. So what I'd like to do is give these characters more time today, maybe about an hour each, and see how I can do with each of these characters. Also, yesterday, if you weren't here for the stream, you missed it, I bought the skins. So I bought the alternative skins for these characters, so we can use them today. We'll actually get to see what Blanca's alternative skins and skin colors and what Lily's alternative skin and skin colors look like. Okay? So that should be fun. I think this will be a fun stream that instead of being focused on learning a new character and then sucking, it's actually using characters I've already used, so hopefully I could jump in and at least do decently with them. That's my intention. I'm not saying that's exactly what's going to happen, but that's what I'm intending to happen today. We'll have to see how it goes, okay? Yes, I know, Jasper Kitty is very prominent today. You're prominently featured on the stream, Jasper. What a silly guy. Okay. By the way, I just want to say thank you to Brianna. As you guys know, I typically would do shout-outs at the end of my podcast, but Brianna gifted 10 memberships to the channel. Thank you so much for supporting the community, Brianna. I really appreciate that. And whoever guys got a membership, be sure to thank Brianna for the gifted memberships, okay? Thank you so much. Again, the community this weekend has been awesome, right? You really guys have been. I understand playing a competitive fighting game. Here's the thing. Normally on my streams, I go out of my way to try to have interaction. I try to talk with you guys and we have a good social time. You can't do that with Street Fighter, okay? You just can't. With Street Fighter, sadly, I have to focus on the game. And when I'm focused on the game, I can't talk with you guys. And I understand a lot of people have kind of been like, oh, man, we can't really chill. You're right. These have not been chill streams of Street Fighter by any means, all right? But now that I'm bringing back the variety, we're going to go back to having chill stream content again. And, you know, that's cool. So thank you to those who still hung out and supported the streams, even if they weren't particularly your cup of tea, because you couldn't chill with me. The chill resumes, you know, as of last night, basically, okay? Speaking of last night was the premiere of my Diablo 4 playthrough. I was on the fence at first about playing Diablo 4, because I didn't know if it was going to translate well into a playthrough with you guys. I had played Diablo 3 over a decade ago, and essentially it didn't do well. But keep in mind that over a decade ago, I was a completely different kind of person and content creator. I was doing offline gameplay, not live streaming. I wasn't even doing direct capture. I was basically trying to fill dead air constantly by talking and making stupid jokes and commentary during my gameplay back then. Today, a lot different. Yes, I still joke or whatever, but a lot of the content is us talking about the game, interacting, and having conversation. Sorry about my allergies, guys. It really is annoying me too. And that adds to it. Having that level of interaction and social experience makes a game like Diablo, I feel, a better experience rather than me just focusing hyper-focused on the game when, as I said, with a game like Diablo, is there a plot? Yes, there is. Is the plot necessarily the focus of the game? I don't really think so. I think the focus of the game is the gameplay loop, getting very addictive, leveling up, getting new abilities, new loot that makes you more powerful, which then allows you to kill more enemies more effectively, which then allows you to take on bigger dungeons, better bosses, which then allows you to level up, get more loot, which then allows you to take on more enemies, like to take on more dungeons, bigger bosses, and then get you more loot. Do you understand? It's a loot. It's an addictive loop, and it's a cool loop. This is what was good about Diablo back in the day. When I played Diablo 1 and 2, I used to grind in these dungeons over and over, hoping for that legendary drop, right? And it was worth it. It was fun. And I'm hoping that we get that feeling back in a game like this, okay? I just hope that it works out long term. Last night, the premiere, it went really well. We created my sorcerer class, and then we got through the intro segment, which lasted about an hour, hour and a half. Then we got to the open world. We started exploring, and I actually did a optional dungeon, which is the first real dungeon of the game that we actually played. It was fun and exciting and interesting, and everyone seemed to enjoy it. It really was a good stream last night. It was a good feel like I was returning to form after doing Street Fighter all weekend and not being able to talk with you guys. It was a better stream in that regard, okay? Of course, guys, what I would also like to say is, if you watched any of the content this weekend, Street Fighter or Diablo, please engage with the content. Liking the videos, leaving comments. I'm not kidding you, helps tremendously. Just doing those two things will help this channel a lot. And I have noticed in the last few months, the engagement has dipped a lot on DSPGaming. Likely it's because there just weren't any giant high-profile games. Well, now there are. All right, so if you could help out with that, I would greatly, greatly appreciate that. Hoping for more comments in particular, because I was looking like, wow, here's the big first few videos of a new game and it only has a few comments on it. It would help to have more. Just give me your opinion on what you think. What do you think about my gameplay in Street Fighter? What do you think about the game in general? What do you think about Diablo? Does it look good? Does it look bad? I actually asked specifically, what do you think this playthrough looks like now compared to when I was trying to do this 10 years ago? I mean, direct capture, live streaming with interaction, I think it's better. But maybe some people don't think that, right? I don't know. So let me know, okay? Nate, what on earth are you talking about? He says, what happened to your recent thumbnails? What recent thumbnails? I don't know what you're talking about. People throw out the most general questions that don't mean anything. What does that mean? What? They don't have the numbering. What? Are you talking about Street Fighter? It's because it's a fighting game. Fighting games I don't number because it's not a consecutive narrative game. For example, I have thumbnails ready for the World Tour mode. So when I start playing World Tour, it's going to be part 1, part 2, part 3. But with Street Fighter, it's just fighting game stuff. It's character specific. I'm not going to have thumbnails for that. I've never had thumbnails for, like, online play of Street Fighter. Ever. In the history of me making content, I've never had them. Maybe that just confuses people. Since every other playthrough is pretty much narrative-based, and they all have numbering. Maybe that's what it is. Okay. So, it's certainly been an exciting week, all right? Now, you might say, well, what's going on in regards to the other modes of Street Fighter 6? That's a good question. It's a valid question because I told you guys I was planning on trying World Tour mode this week, and it didn't happen. Why? Because take a look. All week I've been playing the game, I've only used 6 out of 18 characters. I've only used a third of the cast. And that's my whole first week of coverage. This is what I was trying to explain to you guys when people were actually saying things like, wait, you're only going to be playing Street Fighter and Diablo and you think that's going to be enough? It's going to be enough. It's more than enough. A game like Street Fighter 6 takes incredible time investment. It does. You have to learn so much to be competitively viable in a game like this that it takes a million years to do. You have to play with every character. You have to play multiple sessions. You have to lab it out. You know what I mean? It's very much a huge time sink. And I think that people who aren't into fighting games don't get that. They just think, oh, you could just, since you played Street Fighter before, you could just jump right in and just start playing and put entertaining content out. It's not the case at all. It's not. You have to understand, it's been very tough on any of these streams I use a new character to try to absorb incredibly fast how to play that character and immediately translate that into online play in a competitive environment. It's very challenging. It's stressful. When I play, I'm serious. I felt stressed out this week playing Street Fighter 6 because of the fact that I was trying to do this at such an accelerated rate. You know, when someone normally plays a fighting game, you're not putting yourself on the spot. Every piece of content you're putting out isn't supposed to be entertaining to an audience. You could sit in training mode for 10 hours and just fuck around to try to learn stuff. You practice combos, practice strategies. No one's going to sit here and watch me do that. You guys want entertaining content. You want online play. That's what I mean. Like, yeah, it is. It's stressful. It's very different from the normal content I put out. So here we are at the end of the first week. It's like, where's World Tour? Where's World Tour? Where did I have time for World Tour? We didn't have a single moment to really say, let's take time away from the game to do World Tour. I will do World Tour. I'm interested in the mode. It's in there. And obviously I have an avatar already made in the early demo that I will carry over. I know some people want that. They think it's going to be fun. I agree with you. I think it will be fun. But I think it has to wait a little bit. And particularly, this week coming up, I already have 4 streams I can't do gameplay because of React events. So because of that, I think it's going to hold until maybe later in the month. But we'll talk about that right now as we get into the schedule. But yeah, I don't see myself playing World Tour in the next week when I'm already balancing Diablo, Street Fighter 6, possibly the return of Zelda, and then we're juggling all these React events as well. Okay? Okay. So, that all being said, I think now what we should do is jump into the schedule for the next week so you guys know what to expect all week because it's a very different week. Okay? Cool. Here we go. So, today, Street Fighter 6, using 3 characters I've already used, Blanka, Lily, Dalsim. Let's see how I do on my second attempt with each character. Hopefully I do well. Okay? Later tonight on the late stream, excuse me, my voice cracking because of my allergies. Later tonight on the late stream, 6:45 p.m. Pacific time, more Diablo 4, my second session. In this session, I will get into the meat of the game, which is good, to finally be able to explore a bit and try out dungeons and things and hopefully get my build better. People are already giving me opinions on what I should do with my build, which I appreciate. So that'll be fun tonight. I hope you'll join me for that. 2 chill hours of Diablo fun. I am off from streaming tomorrow. So take that opportunity to get caught up on all the stuff that I've done this week. Here on this channel, extensive coverage of Street Fighter 6, obviously, as well as some Zelda earlier in the week. The conclusion of Final Fantasy V was earlier this week. And I think there's a spider on my wall up there. I think I see a tiny spider up in the corner. He's moving. It's distracting me. And, of course, Diablo 4. But also, outside of all that content here on DSP Gaming, over on DSP React, we had my weekly DSP versus the Internet show. But also, we had a review. I reviewed the Street Fighter 2 animated movie from 1994. If you didn't see that yet, give it a look. You may be interested. Yeah, it's a 29-year-old animated movie, but it's actually really good. I'm still to this day shocked at how good it is. I watched it back. I was like, dude, this movie holds up today's animation standards. It's really good. So give it a look. So that's this week's content. Now, when I come back on Thursday, we're not doing gameplay on the first stream. There will be a very abridged, shortened Level 1 podcast here on DSP Gaming, starting the usual time. But it's only going to run about 45 minutes. Reason being, there's a big event, the Summer Game Fest, taking place on Thursday at noon Pacific time. So we're going to do an abridged podcast, and then we're going to switch right over to DSP Reacts. And on DSP Reacts, I'm going to react to the Summer Game Fest event. It's supposed to be around 2 hours long, so I'll watch it and I'll live react to it with all of you. Then, once that's done, I'm going to do a recap reaction segment where essentially I'm going to go through everything that happened and kind of review it and say, here's what I thought of each thing, what was good, what was bad, what was the highs and lows of Summer Game Fest, okay? So that's probably the whole first stream. If the presentation's 2 hours, that's going to run till 2 p.m. I'll probably take a brief break to use the restroom, come back, do recap reactions. That's essentially the stream. If we have a little extra time, you know, maybe we'll just do some Q&A. If we have a more of extra time, maybe I'll jump into Street Fighter. We'll see, okay? Then, Thursday night, on the late stream, 6:45 p.m. Pacific time, I'll be playing what you vote for. Because right now, live, I'm going to set up a poll This poll will be present on the main channel page of DSP Gaming. All right? I'm going to do it right now. Big poll time. Which of my current Big 3 new release game playthroughs would you like to see me continue on Thursday nights late stream at 6:45 p.m. PDT? Please vote and good luck. So here we go. And of course the options are Street Fighter 6, Diablo 4, and Zelda Tears of the Kingdom. I'm okay with any of those. I think any of those would be a fine stream for Thursday night. Okay? So where can you find that poll? That's on the main channel page of DSP Gaming here on YouTube on the community tab. That will be live now through Thursday morning, and essentially whatever results we have Thursday morning will be the winner. So let's see what you guys vote for in the next 48 hours. And Thursday morning, we'll announce officially on that podcast what I'm playing Thursday night. Okay? Then on Friday, it'll be a full gameplay day. Essentially, I think I'll do Street Fighter 6 during the daytime, probably using a new character. And then the night stream will either be Diablo 4 or Zelda. Okay? Saturday, which would be June 10th. So that's going to be interesting because we're doing DSP versus the Internet, which is my weekly clips show over on DSP Reacts. Here's the difference. I'm changing the format this week and moving forward if it works. Instead of just doing first come, first serve, whoever submits a video gets it watched first, it's going to be shuffled playlist random select, meaning everyone who's a channel member on DSP Reacts, my sister channel, gets to submit a video. All right? Those videos will then be put into a playlist and hit random, and we just watch them randomly in any order. So it doesn't matter if you're already a member and you've already posted up. It doesn't matter if you become a member today and you post up. It doesn't matter if you become a member on Friday and post up. Everyone will have an equal chance to be watched. And what I'm hoping is that this is going to bring back some people, because some people will be very upset. They became members of the channel. They tried to nominate videos, and they never got their videos watched because they just didn't have opportunity to submit them as quickly as other people did. You see? Well, guess what? Now it's equal opportunity for everybody. So let's see what happens over the course of the week. I am honestly hoping this will bring more people back to the channel to become members, because support has waned on the React stuff in the last couple of months because of this. But I'm hoping the big React events this week, this new format for the show, hopefully this will get people back to the channel to support it, okay? So, yes, that's this coming Saturday on the daytime stream. Then Saturday night, again, late night gameplay. What will it be? I don't know. Probably whatever I didn't do Friday night, we'll do Saturday. So if it wasn't Diablo or Zelda, whatever I didn't play, will probably be played Saturday night. Now, Sunday. This is a very weird day. Sunday, June 11th, is the Xbox press conference as well as the Starfield event. They've decided to do this event at 10 a.m. Pacific time. Why? I have no idea. You tell me anyone else on the planet who decides to make major announcements at 10 a.m. I'm not aware of that. But this is what they're going for, okay? So because of that, my streams will be all screwed up. So first of all, that morning, there will be no Level 1 podcast. We're just going to start up early over on DSP Reacts. Arguably, I'll probably get the stream started like 9:30 a.m. And I'm going to do a live react to that as it happens. I don't know how long it is. They haven't really said yet. I'm going to guess 2 hours. They'll probably go through a whole bunch of Xbox Studio games. And then there's supposed to be an individual Starfield presentation at the end of it. So let's say it's 2 hours, right? So I'll react live from 10 to noon. And then just like I'm going to do on Thursday, I'm also going to do a recap reactions after the fact. That'll probably last maybe like an hour. So dependent on when it ends, that'll determine what I do next. Let's say the reacting stuff is done by like 1, 2 p.m. If we have time, I'll switch over to DSP Gaming and we'll do a stream of Street Fighter 6. And we'll just do some online play with the characters I've been using and get some matches in. Okay? So we'll see. It all depends on time frame. You know, how much time we have. Okay? Now, I am not streaming on Sunday night. There is no stream Sunday night. Why not? I need to do I need to do the private React videos for patrons for the month. I normally would have done them the first weekend of the month, but because Street Fighter 6 was out, I focused on that. So I need to do it now. So that's going to be that Sunday night, no stream. So basically on Sunday, the 11th, a very early stream where we're going to do live reacting to the Microsoft and Starfield event. Then my recap reactions. Then we're going to try to squeeze in some gameplay, and that's it. No night stream that day. What a weird day, right? It never is it like that. Then for the next 3 days, Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday, I will be here. Yes, I am here 3 more days. It's a 7-day streaming week for me. And every day will be a full double stream gameplay day. Every day, okay? Which means likely Street Fighter 6 day streams where I'll be picking either all new characters or maybe we'll actually take one of those streams to try out World Tour mode, okay? I think if there's 3 straight days of doing it, maybe I'll have time to actually try out some World Tour mode. We'll see, all right? But it's Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, probably Street Fighter 6 on the day streams, and then the night streams will be alternating between Diablo 4 and Zelda, okay? So 7 days, 3 React events, right? Weird schedule, I know, but we're going to make the best of this coming week, as weird as it's going to be. It should be a lot of content. It should be a fun variety of content. In addition to all of that, I am planning on doing another retro review on DSP React. What will it be? Well, I got a lot of old movies to watch. I was thinking of watching maybe Rocky or maybe Predator or maybe Clue this week. I'm not sure. Some movies from my past that I really enjoy, and I would like to review them for the channel just for extra content. So I will do that at some point this week, I think. Okay? And put out a video of that on DSP Reacts as some extra content. Okay? So good stuff coming this week for sure. Very busy week. Very exciting week. New release news and all these digital events. Now, there may be some other stuff. People are like, well, what about the Ubisoft event? What about the Capcom event? Well, I can't just react all week. I have to put out gameplay. That's what I'm kind of do. So I'm not going to sit here and react to every single event. There will be smaller events like that. If there are announcements and things that are interesting, I'll cover them on my Level 1 podcasts every day appropriately, as I do now with news segments and the like. So that's how we're going to cover those. That way I'm not losing out on an insane amount of content, okay? Fair enough? Okay. That was a lot to cover, man. It was. That was a ton to cover to talk about. All right. One final thing. I have no news stories to talk about today besides this $3,500 VR headset from Apple. Do I need to say a word about it? You guys know my opinions on VR. What do you think I'm going to say about the $3,500 VR headset from Apple? Here. Let's, here you go. Ready? Oh, I love it. It's going to sell like hotcakes. It's totally in line with what consumers are looking for. Apple has their fingers on the pulse of society. They're living in reality, and they're giving the people what they want. Okay, we can move on. I don't even have to say another word, right? I think we're good. Okay, outside of that, I just want to say thank you all for a very, very supportive week. So far, this week has been absolutely amazing. I appreciate everyone who supported the week so far. Hopefully we can keep that momentum going, obviously, as I continue to play all these new releases. But yeah, everyone. I mean, I've seen people come out of the woodwork who I haven't seen in a while to come by and say hello and support and be chill on the streams. I really appreciate that, especially people who are fighting game fans and have come back after a while and say, oh, Phil's still playing fighting games. This is cool to see him come back in some capacity. So thank you very much for that. It's been a great week. Remember all the great ways you can support my streams, including giving a like or leaving comments. Huge for engagement, and engagement is key right now with me playing new stuff. So thank you to anyone who's engaged with the content. Super chats and super stickers, very much appreciated. Memberships and gifted memberships, especially with, if you can see, attendance is high. Like right now, even on the podcast, attendance is good. We've got great attendance this week, really. Like every stream has done really well, and I'm very happy about that you guys are coming out and chilling with me on my content. Thank you for that. So memberships and gifted memberships are helping a ton. You know, gifted memberships, people are really appreciating having a membership when all the new games are out. So maybe consider dropping a few memberships here or there to help out your fellow viewer, right? It's a great way to help out the community at large. Tips, of course, have also been great. Thank you to anyone who's tipped. We've got a lot of opportunities this week to have all the tips, goals, and everything hit. So thank you very much for that. And that's all I really have to say about that. You guys have been amazing. Thank you. Okay? Alrighty. Ladies and gents, with all that being said, it's time to do shout-outs. First, let's start with the YouTube side of things. We have Peter Dangler, who did a $5 super chat and says, I'm mowing the lawn and listening to Phil, hell yeah. Now, what's hilarious, his name is Peter Dangler, like his Peter is dangling, get it? I think it's supposed to be a pun. Well, thanks, Dangling Peter. Oh, excuse me, Peter Dangler. I appreciate your super chat. And, as I said, Brianna gifted 10 memberships to the channel. Congratulations to the following people. Phil, I swear that's not me. Phil, Gavin, Frank, Peter, Unbiased Fan, Chemo, Meatball Man, Easy Peasy 91, Automatics, and Dr. Kinnison. Congratulations to all of you on getting a gifted membership. Be sure to thank Brianna. And as I'm saying this, Brianna just dropped 10 more memberships to YB Better, Mark, Original Recipe, Andrew, Bilarial, Powers Gaming Channel, Paint Sniffer, Easy Mode, Max the 13th, Cody Deaton, and Ori. So that should be 20 memberships to the channel, I believe. I think. Hold on. Let me confirm that before I update the leaderboard. Yes. 20 new memberships. So that's going to jump us up to 771 members now. Thank you so much for that. I really appreciate that. Thank you so much, everyone, for your support. And Brianna, this morning, 20 gifted memberships. Thank you for supporting the channel. Really. It's really appreciated. And again, if you got to get the membership from Brianna, be sure to thank her, so much for the support of the channel. Okay. Let's continue. Excuse me. Let's get to the tip side of things, shall we? Hold on a second here. There we go. Is that better? That's better. Okay. And so, we start off tonight with an overnight tip. It's from someone who has tipped $29.99. Wonder who this could be from. Obviously, thank you very much to Game Trekker. Game Trekker has been supporting Street Fighter 6 all weekend long. Here we are Tuesday. He's still supporting Street Fighter 6. Thank you so very much, Game Trekker. He wants his Street Fighter animation. He gets his Street Fighter animation. I will count it as a $30 tip. Thank you so much, Game Trekker. Okay. So let's see what he has to say. All right, for today's tip, with tips, I want to talk a bit about supers. So, there's 4 types of supers. Level 1, Level 2, Level 3, and a critical art. When you're at low health, I'm not sure exactly how low, but it seems like under 25%, Level 3 supers turn into critical arts, which deal more damage and change the cinematic in some way. FYI, all supers will remove some amount of the opponent's drive, in addition to dealing damage. Level 1 will take off half of a drive bar. Level 2 takes off 1 whole bar. Level 3 takes off 1.5 bars. A critical art will take off 2. Another thing to note is that while level 3s and critical arts have full invincible startup, invulnerability varies for other supers. Level 1s are typically invincible to strikes and throws, but typically not to projectiles. Also, sometimes they're not invincible at all, as you saw with Dalsim. Right, Dalsim's flame attacks are not invincible. He gets stuffed like crazy. Level 2s are physical attacks, but they're typically fully invincible. Many are self-buffs or setup moves. Exactly. For example, Blanca basically charges himself with electricity, making it so that whenever he does a Blanca ball, there's an electric property to it, and you could do repeated Blanca balls without charge. So you could do like a Blanca ball, Blanca ball, Blanca ball, Blanca ball, like 4 in a row, which is kind of neat, and I need to learn how to implement that, because I think that's actually a big part of his strategy. Okay. So thank you very much to Game Trekker for our first tip of the day. It was an overnight tip, and it was a very generous one. Let's continue on here. Then I received a $20 tip, and this tip is from... Actually, I take this back because he did 3 tips, and one is showing up before another, so let me read this one. Okay, so here's a second tip. It's a $5 tip. He wants to talk about Dalsim, he said. Good. I would like to hear about Dalsim. I'd like to hear what he has to say about him. Because I want to learn. I want to absorb before I pick him again today. Okay? So he says he was too busy, sadly, to watch the gameplay yesterday. Based off the titles of the videos, I'm guessing you had a pretty mediocre time with him. Actually, it was, like I said, started off very bad and then got much better by the end, much like Lily. He says, it's strange because you've been complaining a bit about fast rushdown characters dominating Street Fighter 6, then the next fighter you picked was the one who, unless I'm mistaken, had historically had the worst options for getting opponents off of him in every game he's appeared in. The third video's title says you started to get the hang of him. Maybe you started to get used to his zoning moves. I did, and the teleports. I started realizing you could reversal teleport away from everyone, get them off you that way, and then you can get back to your zoning game with mix-ups and teleports. Right. He says, by the way, I wonder if sliding to evade or even punish jump-ins works in the game. That's a good question. I didn't try that, only because he has really good anti-airs. Standing medium, standing fierce are good anti-airs, so I don't think you need to sweep. But the sweep seems really good to get under fireballs at the right distance, and that's the key. I need to learn the distance. Okay. His tutorial didn't mention it, but it's been a staple of his gameplay for so long. Anyway, I'll have proper thoughts on Dalsim when I see your matches. Give him a look. I think today, hopefully, I'll do better, because I kind of know a little bit more about the character. After, like I said, I got the hang of it at the end, right? At the very tail end. And then I ran out of time. Like, it happens twice in a row now, both with Lily and with Dalsim. So hopefully today I'll do a little better. So now here's the third tip, and this tip is a $20 tip. Again from Game Tracker. Thank you so much, Game Tracker, for all the support of Street Fighter 6. So that means it's Gunnar Glass's time. Okay? He says, with the third tip, I want to offer a couple recommendations. You're free to ignore them, but I want to speak my mind a bit. Your schedule says today you're going back to characters you've already used. Nice. My first recommendation is to briefly go to training mode with the fighters you're returning to for the specific purpose of looking at their unique attacks, which you often completely forget to check during your initial coverage. You were reminded of Blanca's overhead if you hadn't missed a step with him, for instance. Right, I don't remember what his overhead is. I know he has one, and I can't remember what it is. And it could be useful to know. If you get an overhead, you could dash cancel and do mix-ups after it. So I have to kind of remember what the hell's the overhead, right? Okay. Now, as for my second recommendation, I'd like to see you pick Zangief next. I don't actually know whether or not he has any reliable reversals in the game, but grapplers have traditionally been the best counters to rushdown. I want to see if you'd be able to stop those speedy characters in their tracks with SPDs. Judging by your gameplay thus far, you had quite a knack for landing command grabs. Interesting recommendation. What's funny is, you're not the only person saying that. A lot of people in the last couple days have been saying, gee, why isn't Phil playing Zangief? Like, he always uses Zangief in Street Fighter, and he likes grapplers. Honestly, you want to know why? Because I wanted to save it. I felt like that's something that everyone knew I would do, and I felt like when I do play with him, it'll be kind of fun and interesting, because it's kind of something saved. I don't know, like, save the best for last, but you know what I mean? Like, you kind of know I'm going to do it, and I'm probably going to end up liking him anyway. So, you know, I kind of saved it up. I figured, why not do some different things this week to kind of be variety, and then maybe get to the characters that maybe I know I'm going to play. Like, I'll probably end up playing Zangief more long-term. So, why not wait, right? Anyway, thank you for the support. Great recommendations, great tips. Thank you so very much. Okay, now moving on. Let's take a look at what we've got. Play Cool has tipped me $1. He says, Diablo 4 looks nice. A warning, the enemy skilling for the game will make enemies always a bit challenging according to Skill Up's review. You'll never get a drop that'll make you feel OP. It kind of kills it for me because I love to feel OP when I go to earlier areas of a game. Assassin's Creed Odyssey is a grind because of this. This is to say I don't think you'll find the game loop in D4 as addictive as 1 or 2. You can't get gear that will make you feel overpowered ever. Huh. That's an interesting take because, of course, I didn't know that. I just started playing the game. And you're right. When you play Diablo 1 and 2, one of the major reasons you do go back and grind is to get that OP gear, and then you get, oh, here's my reward for all that time invested. I finally got the drop I wanted, and it's a crazy good piece of gear. So you're saying that's never going to happen? I mean, that does make me kind of feel, apprehensive a bit about the rest of the playthrough, all right? But I guess we'll see. I guess we'll see what happens. I'm certainly not going to write the game off at this point. We'll see what happens as I play further in, all right? Thank you for the tip. I got another $1 tip from another anonymous tipper saying, I mostly have enjoyed the positive vibes. of your last Street Fighter 6 stream. A bit too much complaining can get a bit uncomfortable to watch, but it's nice to see you excited learning new characters. Right. You have to understand when I'm complaining, I want to make this very clear. I'm not complaining about the game. I actually feel the game is good. I feel like the game is well designed and it runs well and the online play is good. For me, it's very frustrating being someone who's played competitive fighting games for pretty much my whole life, but being out of them for so long, out of the loop, and now trying to go back in and knowing, like, for example, the DJ stream was the worst for me because I knew things that would work and then I couldn't do them, like, constantly. Here we go. Wall crumple combo. Let's get that punish. Let's do 50% damage. Completely whiff. Here we go. I know this is time for big reversal. Let's do it. Hit level 1 or first hit of the level 2 super. Can't do the rest. And it's like, it really is deflating. It makes me seriously, I mean this, it makes you feel kind of like depressed. And like, dude, I'm 41 years old. I hope this means I can't play fighting games now because I'm old. That's messed up. No, I want to enjoy fighting games, right? And it's kind of messed up. That's like, damn, man. You know, I want to do well. I want to put out entertaining content for you. I can't do that if I'm dropping every opportunity I have to do something good. It drops, right? So I apologize for that. And there's going to be times when things are going to frustrate me, and I'm going to say, like, God damn, that mid-range game where they could do one safe hit into a dash cancel, and now it's a giant lockdown hit string, and it's mixing me up, and I don't know what to do. Yes, it is absolutely frustrating in that regard. And I apologize if the complaining comes off as me whining about the game. I'm really not. It's more about me not being up to par with what's expected in a competitive game these days because I've been out of the loop for so long. You know what I'm saying? So I'm doing my best, and I absolutely will continue to try to persevere. Today, the whole point of me playing with 3 characters I've already used is to try to spin off of what I've already done and do better, right? So hopefully things will work out. I guess we're going to find out, all right? And I do apologize for people who think that I'm complaining too much. It's kind of a natural thing with me, especially when I'm doing competitive stuff, and in this case, I'm definitely not blaming the game. I know it's me, you know. Okay. I received another tip here from the Dan Man. He tipped me $1, says, being that the community has given you so much and allows you to live the life you have, this is all completely true. Have you ever thought about giving back with like a giveaway or a signed art piece? Well, here's the thing. I've done those in the past, and this was a long time ago, by the way. But I used to do something that was called the Hardcore Gaming Season Giveaway. For the entire fall gaming season, once a week, I would do a big giveaway, whether it was a game or collectibles or a shirt or whatever. I would autograph the items. Like, I used to do this all the time. But this is back when I was much more popular and there wasn't a toxic cloud of assholes following me around. Also, just to give you some perspective, when I used to do it, it's not easy to do and it's very expensive. For example, there were times when I would have like a game, just a game. Okay, I beat the game. I'm going to sign it and send it to someone. The game's value would be like $20. It would cost like $60 to mail it because my viewers are international. I got to mail it to Europe, $60. What the hell? Right? T-shirts, that's the worst. Because a t-shirt, you could argue, what's the value of a t-shirt? Anywhere from $5 to $15. There's t-shirts that cost $35 to mail. You know? And now it's just worse because now with inflation and everything, things have just gotten even worse. Ultimately, giveaways work if you basically are a ginormous content creator and have unlimited funds and it's not a big deal. For someone like me, if I'm streaming and I got a really good streaming day, oh, it's a good day. I mean, you know, hit my tips goals and whatever. But now I'm doing a giveaway and I'm giving away, I have to pay $100 of shipping. It's kind of counterproductive. You understand? On the top of that, I don't really have anything to give away. Back in the day, I used to buy physical games. I used to do that stuff. I don't do that anymore. Everything I do is digital. At one point, I used to be nice and be like, oh, I'll give away collectibles. Like, for example, I would buy the collector's edition of a game, and I would have all the art, book stuff, the soundtrack, all the stuff, and I would sign it and send it. And people started making fun of me. Oh, see, Phil gives away empty boxes. And I'm like, you know, it's funny that idiots say nasty stuff like that, because I've given away consoles. At the launch of PS4, I bought and gave away a PS4 to a fan. You know, I've given away so many things over those years when I was doing it. And what's the one thing that people say? Oh, Phil gives away empty boxes. So you know what? I'll be honest. When basically the public opinion turned against me for nonsensical, stupid reasons, and people started saying shit like that, to me, it made me feel like, why bother? Because no matter what I do, it's just gonna, people are just gonna shit on it anyway. So if everyone's just gonna constantly shit on you, then just do content that's good and everyone enjoys, and don't worry so much about the outside of the box extra shit, because people are just gonna crap on it, and what's the point, right? Right? I'd much rather put all my efforts into putting out as much content as I can for you guys in a week than worrying about having to take time away from that content to do giveaways and special contests that people will just shit on and say they're horrible anyway. So that's really why I don't do it anymore. Just being honest. You know, every once in a while, someone will give me something and say, hey, here, Phil, here's a digital code. Give it away to your viewers. Sure, why not? And I'll do it. But I just don't see the point of doing those kind of things when there's already such a toxic association. Everything you do is shit, according to certain people. So I'm not going to waste my time with it. I hope that makes sense. You know, it's sad because a lot of times people say, why don't you do this thing that someone else... Why don't you do a charity event? Oh, God. Don't get me started on that. Really. Don't get me started on that, doing a charity event. After, you know, all the shit that I've been through and actually wanted to do one and what happened. So, let's just continue on here, shall we? Okay. I received a $6.66 tip from Lady Charisma. Thank you very much, Lady Charisma. Let's get that hellish animation. I love that animation. One of my favorites. I swear it wasn't a burrito that I ate that caused that. So Lady Charisma says the following. You joke, but even VR enthusiasts are now clowning on Apple for that joke of a headset. It has no controllers. It's more like a wearable Sony video player and the Virtual Boy. I'll stick with my Valve Index, laughing out loud. Sadly, people are going to buy it because it's Apple. Yes, but those people are stupid. The thing is, you can't stop stupid people from doing stupid things, right? You just can't. But if most people agree that it's stupid and don't pay attention to it, hopefully it won't gain traction, and then, you know, we won't have to worry too much about it, you know? What a waste of time. Oh my gosh, excuse me. Whew! Sorry about that, guys. Okay, continuing on. I received a $5 tip from Big Papa Phil. Thank you, Big Papa Phil. Let's see what he has to say. He says, I was watching a master level Dalsim player yesterday. One part of his game, he was using Yoga Float, then throwing air fireballs from different angles, both close to the ground and high above the ground. This shut opponents down from walking toward you and jumping at you depending on the angle. He also used Yoga Float to hit HP overheads on opponents who approached too close. I think it's something you should incorporate into your game with your zoning. Yoga Float is down, down, kick. Both on the ground and in the air. So it's down, down, kick? I thought it was down and two kicks. Are you sure it's down, down, kick? Because I thought it was down and two kicks together. And, yeah, no, that's kind of cool. So if you jump Yoga Float, Fireball. The only bummer is, when you do the air Fireball, you have to fall backwards and land. You can't do it. There's no follow-up to it. Right? So, I'd have to find a way to do it and be sure that it was safe. Because I am nervous that if I do it now, I'm falling. And if there's a character who predicts that I'm doing it, they could dash, or they'd be teleport, like a teleport character, or like a JP could get over there. Or even a full screen move like a headbutt or a Blanca ball. Because I hate the fact that when you do the air fireball, you're committing to now falling backward. I don't like that. Maybe the meter burn version, the OD version, is different. I don't know. It's a good suggestion. I'm gonna try it. I'm gonna try Yoga Float into fireballs and/or just the Fierce Punch, because it is a good move, a big flopping arm move that could counter hit and lead to potential combos and like. I will try that. Good suggestion. Thank you, Big Papa Phil. Thanks for sharing. I don't have time to watch all these videos, so, you know, you sharing that information with me helps tremendously. Thank you. Now, Jasper. Jasper, I'm trying to do shout-outs, buddy. I can't do shout-outs with a kitty on my lap. You know that, because I can't resist petting this cute kitty. This cute kitty. Oh, my goodness. Yeah, I hope he doesn't puke today. Yesterday, I started playing with Dalsim. It's the first match, and he barfs on the floor. And I'm like, oh, what a bad start. I hope he's okay today. Are you okay today, buddy? It is down +2 kicks. Thank you, Big Papa Phil. I thought it was. Okay. Continuing on. I received a $2 tip. He's crawling on me again. I received a $2 tip from Anso Kamaru. I got 2 different compliments yesterday in Battle Hub saying it was refreshing to see a good Modern Controls player. As a lifelong fighting game fan, I've always used sticks, but I decided to retire them and try out the Modern Controls. It feels good to give Modern Control users some justice. Also, yes, whiffing combos that should have won you a match and then losing because of it is the goddamn worst. It's completely deflating when you know you have the match won. All you need to do is execute, and you can't execute. It's like, what happened? You know, like your brain melts. Jasper, I said you can't lay here. I said you can't lay here, you little rascal. All right, here we go. We're getting up again. You can't be on my lap. No, you're not going on this lap. Absolutely not. Jasper, is an absolute no. You're not going to sit on my lap. It's not going to happen. I have to play games today. My joystick's going to be there in a few minutes. My joystick is going to be there in a few minutes. It's a no. Oh, my goodness. Okay. I'm glad to hear you're doing good with Modern Controls, Anso Kamaru. It is definitely something I would like to experiment with in the future, for sure. Okay. I received a $2.99 tip from Radical Jaws. He says, sorry I haven't been around lately. I've been trying to learn Street Fighter 6, my first fighting game ever. I learned that a fight stick was exactly what I needed. Instead of using a keyboard, and the game got a lot easier. Do you think Modern Controls will be disadvantageous or to learn on, or will it be fine to play on that? I'm learning through the single player mode and it's helpful. Well, let me put it this way. Can you play the game with Modern Controls and succeed? Yes. Will you be winning tournaments? Yeah. If you don't care about winning tournaments, it doesn't matter, right? If all you're trying to do is basic gameplay, have fun with it, and win some matches, Modern Controls, you'll never have a problem with it, right? But what people are saying is at high-level competitive play, the Modern Controls probably won't fly because you can't do as much. There's limited normals, limited combos, limited damage output. You know what I'm saying? So if you're okay with limiting yourself because you don't care about the insane high-level stuff, then go for Modern Controls and who cares? Right? Okay. Play Cool tipped another $1. Says, to be honest, your Street Fighter videos are the best when you get salty. Chilling is nice, but after a point, I want to see some rage and cursing. About the new Apple VR, I will never support them or their prices. What this new tech is doing, I find interesting for the future of VR outside of just gaming. There you go. I have no idea what it does because I don't care. I don't care about VR regardless. So, so I don't really give a crap, okay? All right. Wow, the tips continue. Another $1 tip from Rainbow Nipple Pasties, who says, hey, Phil. Hey, Phil, have a great day. Gee, thanks. Thanks, Rainbow Nipple Pasties. A name that I probably never thought I would say on my streams. I really appreciate that. Thanks for the $1 tip there. Okay. Also, shout out to Dragon Lord Gusidisax, who became a channel member this morning. And indeed, that does count as a new membership. So now we're up to 772 members. Alex from Phoenix is here. He just did a super chat. He says, does Jasper ever give an angry meow? I think once ever. I'm serious. I think once. And I couldn't even tell you what it was for. I can't remember. When he did it, it shocked me because he never does that. Ever. He's always a happy cat. He's probably the happiest cat I've ever met. Seriously, like, have you ever met a cat who, like, you know, has a certain personality and lives a certain kind of lifestyle? Jasper loves this house because it's a cat house. It really is. It has big windows, a lot of area to run around and jump around, things to climb all over the house, a back door where you can see all this nature out the back door every day, right? He loves that. And, you know, tons of places, little cubby holes and things for him to sleep in and hide in. He changes his attitudes over the year, which ones he likes and stuff. And he's a very happy kitty. So it would be no reason for him to be doing upset, you know, angry meows or hisses. It's a hiss. A hiss is when a cat is upset. I think, like I said, I think once ever did he ever hiss. Well, I'll be getting more skins today. I'd like to get the skins for Blanca. And I think I bought the Blanca skin already, didn't I? Did I get the one for Lily? I think I did. So no, I have Blanca, Lily. I'm going to use Blanca, Lily, and Dalsim today. And I'm going to use their skins. So as long as I bought them all, I'm going to pick some interesting colors or whatever. But we're going to use those today. Dragon Lord says, would you ever go back and do Cyberpunk again? No. No. That game was not good. Sorry. In my opinion. Anso Kamaru says, actually, you can still do a lot with modern controls in Street Fighter 6. I was surprised at the unique combos you can come up with even without classic controls. Good to hear. I think what they were saying is there's nerfed damage, and you can't do all the normals. So people who have full control of classic control can definitely do more extended combos than those playing with modern controls. But for the most part, modern controls fly in competitive play. The damn man says, should I get Chinese or pizza for lunch? You know what I'm going to say, dude. You're asking me? You're asking someone who is his biggest concentration of ethnicity and cultural, genes is Italian. So, of course, I'm going to say you should get McDonald's. All right. Kidde says, when's Elden Ring coming back? No plans on bringing it back anytime soon. We've got 3 games I'm juggling. We've got React events to cover. We got Final Fantasy 16 coming later this month. Will Elden Ring ever come back? Yes. When? I don't know, nor do I really care right now. It's not really a concern. It's going good, Giant Enemy Crab. Thank you for asking. What a nice question to ask someone. Appreciate that. That's correct. I'm 25% Italian. That is correct. And so even then, that's still my biggest, grouping of culture, ethnicity, whatever it is, whatever the word is, because I don't even know what it is. Because if you say the wrong, I think if you say ethnicity, it's like insulting today or something. I don't know. I have no idea. But I'm mostly Italian. Am I playing MK1 in Armored Core? I'm definitely playing MK1. I don't know if I'm playing Armored Core. Good afternoon to Gabriel. Good to see you here, Gabriel. Jeremy says, did you know with DJ you can heavy kick slide as an anti-air, then up kick straight after? You can, but the enemy has to not attack. If the enemy attacks, they stuff it. Because I tried it, and that sweep is not meant as an anti-air. It's not. It definitely gets stuffed or trades. It's not good as an anti-air. That's why they gave him other tools. That's why he has back heavy kick. That's why he has his up kicks that are invincible to anti-air attacks, because they did not intend for the sweep to be a good anti-air in this one. Prox says, my friend Raz is dead set on having DJ as his main. I tried to tell him DJ is terrible. Oh, I don't think he's terrible at all. Absolutely not. He's good. He's just very execution heavy. You need to practice a lot with that character to get all of his muscle memory down for every move in every situation. You want mix-ups. You want high combos. You need to be on your game. That's a character that you can't sleep on. You know what I'm saying? But I think DJ actually will be quite good in the game overall. Was my nickname in high school the Italian Stallion? No, my nickname was filled with the oddly shaped head. That's correct. Because I had like a crew cut, and when I have crew cut, you can actually see my head is not smooth, but has a weird, like, oddly shaped ridge here. Probably because the plate didn't form properly when I was young, when I was a baby. So, yeah, filled with the oddly shaped head. X-Shooter said, what's your favorite Metal Gear game? I don't know. I'd have to think about it. I would have to seriously think about it and replay them. I don't know. It's been a long time. Maybe Metal Gear Solid 2? I don't know. Excuse me. Who do I plan on maining in Street Fighter 6? I have no idea. I've only used 6 characters so far out of the 18. There's still a lot of characters there who I want to try out, who have big potential, right? Cammy, Zangief are 2 that come to mind. That could be, oh, of course, Marisa and Manon I haven't tried either. I'd say there's 4 characters right there that potentially I might really like, who I haven't used yet. So, until I try all these characters out, I can't really say, you know? Brianna says, that's sad, your head looks fine now. Yeah, because look, because I have hair. If I had a crew cut, you'd see it. I'm very sorry about these allergies, guys. I really am. It pisses me off as much as it pisses you off. I hate this crap in my throat. It's disgusting. Bruzy, I didn't hear about that, but I'm not surprised if it is true. He says, did you hear about Twitch is trying to take a % of streamers' sponsorship money and limiting how much sponsors they can get on their stream? I wouldn't be shocked if any of that is true. I told you Twitch was on the way out 2 years ago. So that's why I really have no desire to ever go back there. Would I consider a donation goal to go fully clean shaven? No, I like my beard. Even as white as it is, I still like my beard. So does my wife. Why would I shave that? Why would I shave something I like? Cody says, any recommendation where to get a Switch OLED from? I have no clue. I think the Switch is in stock everywhere. So I don't think that really matters. You can go physically pick it up at a store right now, I think. There's no demand for that. Everyone has them, right? I don't want to grow the beard long. When I grow my beard too long, it itches very badly, and it bothers me. So. Do I care about the new Spider-Man movie? Will I watch it? Would I like to watch it? Yes, I saw the first one. Was it Into the Spider-Verse? I thought it was very good. I'd like to see the sequel, but, you know, I'm not any plans to see it anytime, so. No rush. I'll see it eventually. Cut it off? Cut off my oddly shaped head? Now that's just awful. Why would you ask me to cut off my head 672? Why would you say cut it off? That's awful. No, my head stays firmly affixed to my neck. I'm sorry, it's not coming off. What an awful thing to say. Am I excited for Spider-Man 2? Yes. I think it'll be a great game. Did I look at the achievements list for Street Fighter 6? It's pretty doable. No, what happens on Xbox is the achievements pop up on your screen when you're not playing. So it'll kind of take, and it's something about like getting a certain amount of fans. Now, I think, is that World Tour mode? I think it is, right? So I think when I start playing World Tour mode, I'll actually start gaining a bunch of achievement points. But until I start playing World Tour mode, I can't, you know? I don't know what the other achievements are. We got a few, like a small handful playing online, but I don't actually know what they all are. So, you know. Brianna says more Zelda soon. As I said during the schedule segment of this podcast, really what I play is up to you, because Thursday night's dependent on a poll, and then we're going to have other night streams later in the week that'll either be Diablo or Zelda, and, you know, it's going to kind of be in the hands of what the viewers want, I think. So. Thoughts on Sorcerer class so far? Seems strong in the early game. I don't know if Sorcerer will remain strong the entirety of Diablo 4 or will hit a wall at some point or plateau. Right now seems really good. The Chain Lightning, I mean, most enemies are not getting to me. And that's the whole point of a Sorcerer, is you stay back and you're trying to keep them at range. You can freeze them so they don't really get, you know, slow, and then you hit them, you snipe them, right? That's the whole point. So that spider is going all over my ceiling. It's very small. It's like a tiny little spider, like this small, little black spider. He's going all over the ceiling. He was over in the corner, then he was over here, now he's over here. It's a very active spider. Will I see the new Transformers movie? Unfortunately, probably not. I don't really care about these Transformers movies at this part, so. Would I consider redoing a Witcher 3 playthrough? Yes, I'm going to eventually someday replay Witcher 3. I will. I don't know when. I don't think there's any real desire for me to do it now. I think people would rather see me play games I had never played. But maybe one day. Bruzy says, when you beat the campaign with one character, you can skip the campaign with any new character you make and focus strictly on the end game. So once I beat the story of Diablo 4, I can make a second build, is what you're saying. There goes the spider. He's over here now. Wow, he's fast. He was, zoop. He's a mover. Gray Fox, I don't even know what you're saying. I don't know what RSI is, so I can't respond to what you're saying. No, I never saw the Luke Cage show. I did not. All right. Guys, I think we'll adjourn the show for today. Thank you for being a great audience. Thank you for your early support. I am excited to jump back into Street Fighter 6 and try the characters I've already used again and see how we do. Thank you for watching. And I will say now, as we adjourn, this has been a great launch week for Street Fighter 6. I really appreciate you all coming out and supporting the content. It will continue at a limited capacity. It's not going to be as much as I've been doing moving forward with all this React stuff next week, with me balancing with other games. But I'm going to continue to play and enjoy the game, and I hope you guys have liked it as much as I've been playing it. I really have had a good time with it. Thank you all, and I will see you soon.